Have you ever heard about Dr. Jim Swan? One of the most famous brain of the whiskey industry. Today's whiskey, guys, is a blended malt whiskey bottled to commemorate Dr. Jim Swan. Let's talk about the Jim Swan and the blended malt whiskey from Cotswolds and Milk and Honey Distilleries. Hello and welcome back. My name is Vlad, and in today's video, guys, I'm gonna be talking about the blended malt whiskey. A beautiful collaboration of two distilleries, English distillery Cotswolds and Israel distillery Milk and Honey. And that collaboration brought to the market this beautiful whiskey. Blended malt whiskey from Cotswolds and Milk and Honey, which actually has been created and has been bottled to commemorate a very special person, Jim Swan. Dr. Jim Swan was a guy who actually helped loads of distilleries all around the world with the whiskey production. And if you ever heard about the STR casks, that's Dr. Jim Swan idea, obviously. And he actually helped distilleries like Cavalan Distillery, Milk and Honey Distillery, Cotswolds, Penderyn, Kilchoman, Linders Abbey, Clydeside or Amrut distilleries. So a long list of many different distilleries all around the world where Jim Swan actually have been involved in the production process. All the setups from the milling the grain through fermentation, distillation, and the maturation of whiskey. As I mentioned, STR casks, his innovatory idea about recuperation of the casks from the Portuguese wine, where obviously STR means shaved toasted recharred, so that cask is shaved inside, toasted again to activate all the sugars in the wood, and then charred or burnt off again to be more specified. So those two distilleries, Milk and Honey and Distillery Cotswolds, they decided to commemorate his massive impact of the whiskey production and thank him for this massive help. Obviously, Dr. Jim Swan passed away in 2017, unfortunately, and he left a massive heritage. And all these distilleries which I mentioned, they are now very famous, they are very known, they are very popular, and they're making good whiskies. So guys, in this case we have blended malt whiskey and it's split half and half. So we've got 50% ex-bourbon Cotswolds English whiskey and 50% STR Israel Milk and Honey whiskey. So beautiful split, half and half, 50% of ABV. And as far as I remember, there was only 700 bottles, unchill filtered, no color added, beautiful natural presentation. So let's have a nose and taste, and the nose is beautiful. We have loads of sweetness, some honey notes, very fruity, slightly malty. We have a touch of herbs in this whiskey as well, like pine needles, like a wet forest. The fruitiness has I would say like a jammy notes, slightly dry fruitish. There is some kind of red wine aspects to it as well, like dried cranberries, some strawberries, raspberries. There is a touch of caramel and vanilla, and that nice herbiness, spiciness, I would say. Smells very nice, very sweet, very approachable, to be honest. Let's go for the palate. Quite oily texture, very nice. There is loads of sweetness with that caramel vanilla. There is that kind of pine needles herbiness, maybe touch of the thyme, maybe some rosemary, but there is loads of caramel sweetness. There is nice touch of the red berries, cranberries, strawberries, that kind of like a red wine touch to this as well. Very nicely balanced, I need to say. Alcohol is very well integrated. It's not burning, and this whiskey goes smooth. It's 50% of ABV. Obviously, we have no age statement here, so we don't know exactly the age of the whiskey. But this whiskey is quite smooth, quite nice, quite easy drinking, I would say, which is weird for 50%, to be honest. There is that kind of vibe which reminds me sweet evaporated milk, like condensated milk, the sweet one. If you ever mix this or blend this with strawberries, raspberries, that kind of, you know, red fruits, there is that kind of vibe in this whiskey, and that touch of the caramel, touch of honey. There is that, you know, Cotswolds maltiness here as well. There's some peaches and apricots of that kind of stuff, but it's like a more like a jammy aspects to it. It's not like a fresh one, not like a tin one. It's like a more like a, you know, like a jam. The finish is quite long and it's nice. In the finish, you've got that kind of touch of milk chocolate as well. That kind of milk coffee with the milk coffee vibe, that condensated milk with the coffee. The finish is long, it's lasting, quite warming. You got that cinnamon warm up. This whiskey is very good. It's blended malt whiskey, but you can tell the character of the both distilleries because they're quite noticeable. So you can tell, if you know the Cotswolds whiskey, if you know the milk and honey whiskies, you would be able to recognize the both aspects, or the both distillates aspects in this whiskey, which is very nice. So guys, obviously, as I mentioned, only 700 bottles, and this whiskey wasn't cheap as well. I paid £80 because I got this bottle in offer, but the regular price on this whiskey in UK, it was £125. So it's not a cheap bottle of whiskey, but if you're gonna take under consideration quite special release, commemoration of the Jim Swan, if you take under consideration you've got whiskey from the biggest English distillery, and only one at this point at least, Israel Milk and Honey Distillery, this is something quite interesting. This is very interesting thing to try, and obviously I would spend that 125 quid with no doubt, because I'm a big fan of Jim Swan. I'm a big fan of his heritage, obviously, and he was very, very famous. He's been called the Whiskey Einstein, so that's only can tell that he was very, very known among the whiskey industry, and he did a fantastic job to help rise all these distilleries up and get them famous. That's what is this whiskey about, to be honest. So I think because of that, because of the speciality of the occasion, this whiskey was worth to spend 125 quid, in my case 80 quid, guys. And obviously this is a very, very good liquid as well. It's very, very good whiskey. So I'm very happy I have this whiskey. I'm very happy I was able to share my opinion with you, and I'm very happy that you can watch this video now. So if you're watching this video, guys, and you ever tried this whiskey, let me know in the comment down below. So guys, that's all for today's video. Thank you very much for your support, for your subscriptions, likes and comments. If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed this channel yet, please consider that step and smash that subscribe button. And guys, see you in the next video. Slanjeva.